Hey, what's going on? Brett Snodgrass here, Freedom Friday. I'm going to pull up my notes here, but thanks, you guys, for joining me. Today, we're going to be talking about how to create a freedom map, which is really, really cool because last week I talked about that you have to design your freedom, right? It's not like you wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm free. I can't believe it. I don't have to work. I have so much money and I don't have any stress in my life and I'm so free. And I don't know what happened. I just woke up and just the way it is. No, um, it doesn't happen that way, right? You have to design it. You have to work at it if you really want freedom in your life. So it really starts with this thing that we're going to talk about today is the freedom map is what I like to call it. I'm going to relate it to, let's just say that you are getting ready to travel America. And so you're going to start off where I'm from, Indiana, Hoosier State. You're going to start off in Indiana. You're going to travel up North United States and see everything that you want to see up there and go through the plains and the mountains and get some cool stuff. You're going to end up over at the West Coast and check out the beaches and the wineries over there and stop to some places like that and travel through the southern part of the United States with Texas and check out the history and all that. And then you're going to end up, your final destination is going to be in southern Florida, right? So there's a few different options you're going to do. So you're getting ready to go on this trip and you want to see all these different things and travel the United States. Well, one option is you could literally just jump in your car, pack a backpack, and just start driving and just, see where the road takes you. Whatever happens, happens. Stop along the way. You'll figure it out. Right. You don't have any plan at all. You just kind of wing it and go on your way. That's one option. You could definitely do that and see how it goes. The second option is you can create an entire plan and tweak every little step. You can plan all your stops along the way, where you're going to get gas, what you're going to eat along the way, and everything is planned out to a T. And you've taken months and months and months to plan out this entire journey, and it's exhausting. You got everything laid out, and the problem is if you get off track one little way, it's going to really frustrate you. That everything has to be exactly perfect. And that's another way that you could do it. But the third option, I believe, is the best option. Is that you plan, that you have a map, that you plan out some stops along your journey. Maybe you don't have everything planned out to a T, but you know where you're going. You're going to Southern Florida, and rough idea where you're going to be stopping, and you have definitely some things planned out, but you have some flexibility in that because, as we all know in life, not everything goes as planned, right? That you have to be flexible and the weather, right? You might get a flat tire. You might be running late. Maybe you just want to see something else along the way, and it's going to put you back an extra day. So whatever happens, you have to be flexible along the way. Well, this is what I want you guys to think about with your business, your life, with your freedom. So, what I see a lot of times as entrepreneurs do the first map, and that's what I did when I first got in. I just started driving. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out along the way. And there's some, there's some good that obviously has come out of that. You do learn from experience and you learn that way, but I don't think it's the best way. And I think that's the thing I really want to talk about today is what is the best way to draw out a freedom map. So again, I see a lot of entrepreneurs just kind of winging it, go along their way and figuring out, and they start to do really, really well. They start to make a lot of money. But again, they never really get freedom because they're trapped. They're so entrenched in their business, doing the day-to-day operations every single day. They never figure out how to run a business. They never get any kind of freedom. They might make a lot of money, but they don't have the freedom. They don't have the quality of life that many freedom finders do. So I don't think that's the best way. The other way is someone that does the second option is where they plan and plan and plan it and then plan a little bit more and they have this entire plan out there and they've been tweaking their plan for years and months and they can't quite get it really perfect that they go to all the meetings, they network with everybody, and they say that, yeah, I'm getting ready to get started in my business, but I just don't have everything quite perfect yet. I don't have my plan out quite yet. I was talking to a gentleman the other day that, he had been thinking about doing a business for, many, many years and hadn't quite started yet. Because it wasn't the right time and he didn't have the right plan yet. So I don't think that that's right either, right? I think that you can't get everything perfect, right? This is life and this is just a business and you can't get it all perfect right away. And you got to be flexible. So the third way I want to talk about is I'm going to talk about some elements of that is it's good to have a plan, right? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So it's good to have a plan. So to write down where you want to go and to break that down into smaller chunks. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And to have a plan, to have a freedom map, and but to be flexible, right? Because things change. Things change every month, quarter, year, right? Your life could change. Your season could change. You went from a single person to now you're married to now you have kids to whatever that looks like. That season has changed. Your business changes because now you went from one person, now you got four people, and things have changed. The market has changed. You can't do what you used to do before. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry about that. My son had came down and he was working on something. So I'm just trying to get this in before the day gets going. But anyways, yeah. So the third option is it's good to have a plan. It's good to have a map. It's good to know where you're going and the things that you want to do along the way in your business and in your life. But you got to be flexible, right? So a couple of resources I want to go when you guys are drawing out your freedom map is um, number one. A few tips is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Number one, like you don't have to start off with a blank piece of paper and just be like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I'm gonna draw this map and I don't know. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's plenty of templates out there that have guides for you. Two books I would highly recommend is one book is called Traction. Really tells you how to run a business, and it has a map in there that you can just start filling in the blanks. Right, it has a template, and that's one. Another book is called Scaling Up. These are two books that really uh, catapulted my business into the next level, where I really learned how to run a business and systems and how to draw out this map. And they both have kind of these one-page map plans in there that you just kind of start filling in the blanks and just read and it's a guide on how to do that. So I wouldn't start off from scratch. I would go find a map or just a, I don't know if it's not called really a map, but it's just a guide. Just start filling in the blanks of your goals and your rocks on where you want to go. So don't reinvent the wheel on that. I would recommend those two books. Uh, Number two, I would think big, but focus small. So if you listen to a lot of YouTube channels or Grant Cardone or whoever you listen to, yeah, I mean, they're always talking about think big, think millions, millions, 10 million, whatever. And it's a fine to think big. Like we call that kind of our big goal. Like, on the journey, we're heading on this United States journey. We're going to Florida, right? And we're going to end up in Florida. That's the big goal and to get there. But you have to focus small, right? It's like, okay, that's our big goal, but now that's out of my mind right now. And I'm going to focus on these small chunks, these small stops, these small rocks is what we call them. So your map has this big, hairy, audacious goal is what we call it. You got this big goal out there, but then you got to break it down into a year, right? I mean, you still got the mid goals, you got the 5 years, but really, I think a year is like where your focus should be. And then actually rocks is where you get really nitty gritty focus. So we actually call them rocks, 90-day rocks. So whenever you set these small goals, I always go with 90 days. I'm like, okay, you want to hire somebody? Okay, 90 days. We're going to put an ad out there, interview someone, get them hired in 90 days, right? And that's just an example. Brian, my CEO, actually breaks it down even further, and he calls monthly pebbles. So you got the rock, and then you got the little pebbles. So again, think big, but focus small. Be clear on your map. So, and I don't want that to get the wrong impression. I said be flexible, but don't be vague on your map, right? Be very specific and be very clear about what you want. So if I said, hey, my big hairy goal is, and this isn't whatever, but this, say I want to be a millionaire, like my net worth, I want to be $1 million, right? Then that's a math problem. So I break that down into, smaller goals. I'm like, how am I going to do that? And then I'm going to have this much along the way, and I got to hire this or whatever. Um, so it's just clear and it's specific. I want to have a net worth of $1 million. And right. So just be clear on that, on your map. So number 4, have it be visual. I always recommend having it be visual. I'm a visual learner. We're all visual people. So have your map be somewhere that you can see it, that you can look at it, that you can revisit it, and it be visual to you. And number 5, I would get a guide for your business and freedom map and journey, right? I've always highly recommended mentors, business coaches, someone that's been through the journey before. Whenever I do something, I always look for a mentor to help me along my journey. I'm always starting these new things, these new projects and business stuff and kids, parenting, and I'm always looking for help, right? Who has been through this before that can help me? So I would, look for someone. If you don't have a mentor in your life, and maybe that you do, but you just don't call them that, but who is that person that you can call up and just bounce questions off of, just to ask? Like you don't have to have a specific, hey, we have a mentorship relationship, and every month we're going to meet for 90 minutes. You don't have to have that, but who's that person that you can bounce all these ideas off of to say, hey, give me your feedback on this. Like, what do you think of this? I've created this. So getting a guide, a mentor, a coach, or whatever, is very, very important to help you. So I'm going to stop there. And just number 1, going back, you have to have a map to get freedom in your life. So let's just get started. And I hope you guys draw out a map here this next week as we go through. My biggest goal with these Freedom Fridays is to help you design your freedom. And then a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you have the freedom and the life that you want to live. See you guys.